I wanted to talk about Bernie with you, and specifically his power with regards to this Medicare for all. Now, we saw Bernie's power over here in the UK. Bernie got Amazon pay rises, didn't he, last year?
Yeah,
And
yes, he did.
he got them pay rises the world over. So he got roughly 30,000 people in the United Kingdom pay rises, and it was huge pay rises of like 15,
No way!
20%.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah,
know
it was
extended to the UK.
30,000 workers over here got pay rises because of Bernie Sanders. Our own fucking government haven't done that in 9 years, and this guy
Wait,
did it.
Bernie Sanders got pay rises to workers in the UK.
Yeah. I think it was something like 36,000, something like that. I know.
That's awesome.
This is how powerful he is. Now, one of the things that really struck me when I came to America in 2008, I was there when Obama won the presidency. Yeah. And one of the things that struck me was your healthcare system, or rather your lack thereof. Yes. Because my friend over there that I met my friend Randy over there, and he is possibly one of the greatest people I've ever met. He is a wonderful singer as well. He sings at clubs and, you know, at riverside places. He's a great guy. Yeah. And I was in the car with him and we were going somewhere, and he was talking to me about he doesn't have healthcare. And he was talking to me about how he works at a panel shop spraying cars. And I'm like, well, does the singing not pay? Because I heard him, he's a fucking great singer. I was like, does the singing not? He says, no, I've got enough to live on the money. I can live on the money. I take the panel beating, the panel spraying car job for my healthcare.
Just for the healthcare.
So, yeah. Hold on a minute. So this guy, a singer, wears a mask and a suit, one of those suits, mask, and gets himself in a closed room to spray cars, the just bodies of cars, right? And whatever. And he does it not because he needs the money or he needs it to live. He does it specifically. He puts himself through all of that with his singing voice, etc., because he needs the healthcare. And I couldn't get my head around it. I couldn't. Yeah. I thought this is wrong.
Healthcare is attached to jobs in the United States, meaning most of the people have healthcare through their employer. And so if you lose your job, for the most part, you lose your healthcare.
Well, a couple of years later.
And even with that, it's like $200-$300 a month. I mean, I pay like $200-$300 a month for healthcare, and that's not even that's not even including a secondary healthcare that you have to pay for. Like, it's obscene. Do you realize I was in I think it was Egypt. I was in Cairo, and when I was in Cairo, I was waiting to get seen in a clinic. I was at a health clinic, and the guy I didn't know the guy spoke English. He was German. He comes out and he starts smoking a cigarette. The coolest man I've ever met in my life, ever seen in my life. And he turns to me and says, "How much are you paying for this?" And I tell him I'm like $250, and he's like, "Oh God." And he says, "I don't understand why you guys allow your system to act that way." He says, "You realize I don't have to pay for this." He says, "If I go somewhere else to travel, my government pays for this. We, as a society, decided that we didn't want people to individually have to deal with these bills, and we cover it." Everywhere I went, everywhere I traveled across the globe, it was the same case. When I was in Portugal, they would say, "God, I don't know why you guys allow your healthcare system to be that way. If you could be dirt poor in this country, and you still get the healthcare like anybody else in this country." Yeah. Not in the United States, buddy.
What I quickly found out was you don't have a system that makes people better. You have a system that makes a few people richer. That's basically your healthcare system. Because my friend, as I was talking about, who took that job, a few years later he got cancer. And remember, he took the job at the place spraying just for his healthcare. He got cancer and he had to have life-saving chemotherapy. Now, he had that, and it works out that he's recently got the all clear, although we know there's never an all clear with cancer. However, he had to pay $7,000 before they would even give him the treatment, even though he's got the healthcare. And you know how he got the $7,000, Jamal? You'll probably be able to guess, because it's the number one reason that
probably crowdfunded it.
Yeah, he went on GoFundMe and he had to get that $7,000. Now he did, and he survived. Now I want you to contrast that with over here with the NHS, because there's a story over here at the NHS that I want to talk to you about, and I'm going to read you it now. And I'm actually going to go to my Guardian, the Guardian, GCHQ's mouthpiece, because it's the only one that's the first one that I found. But I'm going to read it to you because there's something that I woke up to today, because the NHS, on our NHS today, we found out that there is a life-saving drug, I call it life-saving, that they are offering on the NHS that cures people's blindness. A baby that's been born blind, it cures them. This is a one-off injection, will save children from inherited blindness. NHS England to fund treatment costing £613,000 for rare blindness disorder. If that baby with that inherited blindness was born in America, and it was born in, I don't know, middle class or lower class household, that baby would be blind for the rest of its life.
Yes,
Yet over here, one injection and it's cured. That's the difference. That's the difference, isn't it?
It's worse than that, Gordon, because, for us, it's insurance companies. Insurance companies are leeches, and they take like 30% of out of the process, meaning their job is to make profit. How do you make profit if you're an insurance company? By denying coverage.
Yeah.
The only way they can make their money is if they can say, okay, we're going to not allow coverage in this particular case, but okay, we're grudgingly going to allow it in another case. That shouldn't be a business. If the goal is healthcare, the idea that you have a company that's job in this is to separate the wheat from the chaff, that wheat from the chaff is people actually getting that healthcare, and they make profit off of not having those people get help. It's a problem. It's one of those things that shouldn't exist. And you're absolutely right. That child would have been born blind, as opposed to in one of the other countries where the issue is not profit, the issue is the healthcare itself.
Yeah, the baby will be fine if it's born to a rich household and who can afford the 613,000 or whatever it is. They'll probably charge 613,000 for the insurance forms, even if it only costs about $6.13. That's what they'll charge. But if that baby in America is born in a rich family, it's fine. But for the 90% of families over there, it's going to be blind for the rest of its life. And how is that? This is the most advanced country on the planet you live on. This is the richest country that there ever has been on this earth. How can it be you don't have healthcare?
It wasn't a priority. Honestly, the richest country on the planet. So if you understand it, there's a certain degree of propaganda that goes into this country with this notion of, rugged individualism and all this other nonsense. Ultimately, those are things where the 1%, for the most part, convince the rest of the public that these are things that they as individuals need to deal with on their own. Other countries weren't so deluded. And those countries had enough sense to say that us as a society itself don't need markets to invade each and every place, especially when those markets, because ultimately you have a brand or a product that people can't go without. And that for the most part, you could charge them ungodly sums. It is a democratic choice at that point to say, yeah, let's not have markets there. We don't want people screwed over in this particular way, and we need access to these products and medications and drugs and everything else. We didn't do that. Other countries had a good enough sense to do it. It is up to this particular generation to take the lift. And, for the most part, that's what you're saying. This generation taking the lift and trying to make this work.
You're going to have to, man, because this is just, fucking Venezuela has healthcare. Syria has it. Russia has healthcare.
Cuba has healthcare.
Fucking Malaysia. Saudi Arabia. I do hope that we are seeing the end of this healthcare Ponzi scheme in America. And I hope it happens very soon. And I hope that the people who have been jacking up these prices, I hope there's some repercussions. However, I'm a bit of a pessimist lately, and it seems that people who do these sort of white-collar crimes get away with it, and the blue-collar people, they don't, the poor people. But I suspect it's always been that way.